John Tallarico can take you to a place inside yourself that you can't go by yourself.
How you doing, Brian? Good to see you again.
I thank you for having me.
Listen, if you're going through something in life, man, and you look and you don't feel like you're actually moving with passion and whatever your endeavors are, reach out to my man John. You know what I'm saying? He got some great perspective.
John Tallarico is without question one of the most beautiful human beings that I have met in the whole 60 years. And he happens to be, without question, the most generous person. He is the star in our company, an absolute star.
John is one of the best coaches out there.
John in my life is a coach, a mentor, and someone who I truly value a lot. He's changed my life. I know he can change yours as well.
Glad to join you. Thank you for having me, John, and thank you all for the rest of you for joining me. I appreciate the opportunity to share with you. And
All righty, welcome everybody. Happy Thursday to you. Super excited for tonight's class. We're going to be talking about connections and conversions. This is the second of a two-part series, and we are really excited to share with you some great information tonight. Before we get started, I know there's a slight delay on Facebook, so welcome to you guys watching us on Facebook and also over on YouTube. We will let me know, James, good to see you, sir. Let me know in the chat where you guys are calling in from. I'm over here in wonderful Phoenix, 115-degree heat. And tonight we're going to really go now and talk more about, now that you actually learned a couple weeks ago, now I'll do a brief review about how to make the connections that you want. How do you now convert those into relationships, into partnerships, into joint ventures that can actually change your life for forever and actually change the world? And so we're going to be talking about that. Oklahoma, welcome, James. Great to see you. And let me know, the rest of you, where you're calling in from. And so we're going to be talking about that tonight. Baltimore, Maryland. I miss the Phoenix Heat. I will be happy to trade that with you anytime. Some of you, I can't see your name in the chat. We're using StreamYard. So if you can put your name in there. Baltimore, I'm not sure who that is, but put your name in the chat. Also, we're talking about networking and we're talking about making connections. So I want to share something with you. We're super excited. This is our first live event ever that we're going to be doing. So you want to mark this date down, September 10th on a Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. in Atlanta, Georgia. You can come meet me, get to know me, meet some of the team, really network and be around like-minded people. We're going to have a one-day event. It's called Breakthrough. This is really about helping you break through those limiting beliefs and what's been holding you back to get you where you want to go in your life. So also, super excited. You want to talk about the power of networking and connections? Guess what? We're bringing in the greatest motivational speaker of all time. My good friend, Mr. Les Brown, is going to be coming by as well. You can have a private lunch with Les and myself, as well as ask him any question you want. He's going to be sharing from the stage as well about the power of greatness and how to stay hungry. And so make sure you take an opportunity to do that. Howdy, Jim from Scottsdale. We're right down the street in Gilbert. Aaron, good to see you. So we're really excited for that. Fernanda's going to put the link in the chat for you if you're interested in that. That is September 10th, our first live event called Breakthrough. Guest speaker, the legendary Les Brown. All right. I see Jim from down the street in Scottsdale. So Jim understands the heat. So tonight, I want to talk to you now about conversions. And so this is really 2 weeks ago, we did our first kind of class on how to really make connections. And I know I had some technical difficulties, so I'm going to actually share some slides with you guys, and we'll start from the beginning. And I want to ask you a question. I want you to think for a second, what is it costing you to not have the right kind of network? What does it cost you to not have the right connections that can help elevate and take your business to the next level, to change the trajectory of your success? What's it costing you in lack of sales and dollars and not having the right number of clients? If you can't expand or grow, you can't hire more staff, you can't give back to the community. And imagine what it would be like if you had a network so powerful that you could collaborate with the top people in your industry, that you had all the money that you wanted, that you could understand really that goal creation and goal achievement is something that is a system that you can master, and that you can have all kinds of financial freedom, all kinds of time to spend with the loved ones that you want and to do the things that you want. And really, that's what freedom is, being able to do what you love. Have that dream home, buy that dream car, take that dream vacation. So by not having those right kind of connections, what is it costing you? Just let me know in the chat what that cost you. Because for me, it was costing me everything. And I realized I had to make some changes. And so I started to actually do some things differently. And actually, first thing I did was I started to think differently. And I've been able over the years to put together an amazing network of industry leaders, celebrities, millionaires and billionaires all over the world that I've been able to help, and they've been able to help me. And we've been actually able together to impact and change the world. So I see some more of you joining in. Let me know in the chat. Allison, great to see you from Baltimore. Good to see you as well, Aaron. Let me know in the chat where you guys are calling in from. So I want you to think for a minute. If this was your network, I'm not talking about people you just run up on stage and take a selfie with, right? Or maybe go to their event. I'm talking about you had these people in your phone that you could call them up directly and get a reply. You could email them and say, hey, I have this opportunity for you. How would you feel if you had a network like this? People worth tens of millions, hundreds of millions, and even billions of dollars. That's what's possible when you can master what I'm going to share with you tonight. That's what's possible for all of you. And so what I want to get over and across to you is that you have to not do things different. You actually have to think different. And what I realized is after trying decade after decade of doing things differently and getting the same results, my life wasn't going anywhere. I'd have some success, I'd start and I'd stop. And then I finally met a person who turned out to be a very dear friend and actually became my mentor, Bob Proctor. He was teaching this for 60 years. He was probably the greatest teacher on human success and potential. He worked with Earl Nightingale, and he studied the right information that he knew could help people change their lives. And he told me, John, you don't need to do anything different. You need to think differently, because success is 95% mindset and 5% strategy. I was so focused and worried about how am I going to build these relationships? How am I going to build these connections? How am I going to get that financial freedom that I'm looking for? And so I wanted to just share briefly with you my quick story, because I know if I can build a relationship with the people that you just saw, I know any of you can. So just briefly, my name, for those of you who haven't heard me speak, obviously, is John Tellerico. And I grew up in a small town in Michigan. Now, my business is something that we call the Million in You. And that's because we believe that all of you have the million in you inside of you. It's that one unique thing it's your gift that you do better than anyone else on the planet. I am a self-taught entrepreneur. Nobody in my family went to college. And so I learned by trial and error. And today I design my own life of freedom. I go where I want. I get up when I want. I actually am speaking to and have the people that I want in my life. But it was, like I said, a lot of up and downs over the years. But I am proof that if I can overcome all the challenges that I did, that any of you can do this as well. So a little bit about me quickly. I like to say a results coach, because at the end of the day, results are the name of the game. I work very closely, and 2 years ago, I decided to become a member of Bob Proctor's company. I became a Proctor Gallagher consultant with no experience and no clients. And quickly, we were able to go from 0 to 150 clients within 9 months in record time. I've also been able to work with some amazing clients. You see there, Les Brown and I over in the office of the School of Greatness with Lewis Howes. There's Bob, and up at his house in Toronto, Sonia Riccati. For those of you who don't know her, she is absolutely phenomenal. One of the top people in the personal development space and a producer of a phenomenal film called Unsinkable. Damon John, one of the Sharks, shared an office with him for the last couple of years. This was actually a few years ago, actually in New York City, most exclusive building in the world, right? The Empire State Building. I've been able to travel the world with Akon. He sold over 50 million records. Millionaire matchmaker herself, Patty Stanger, Shah Rukh Khan, for those of you know him, Onyx Singhal, who became one of my very closest and dearest friends. He's done over $350 million online. Again, by using the principles and stuff I'm going to share with you, I was able to build that relationship to now where actually he is one of the few people that is in my inner circle. Salman Khan, Grant Cardone, Alicia Little. So that's what's possible. And most importantly, I devote myself to bigger missions. The last couple of years, I have not been able to do this due to what's been going on, but I love to volunteer for an organization called the Starkey Hearing Foundation. We give free hearing aids to children and people all over the world. Volunteered as a big brother for a while, and free arts for abused children. That's a cause very dear to my heart for very personal reasons. And so it was by mastering these things I'm going to share with you that my life was able to turn around. You know, I grew up, and like I said, in a small blue-collar town in Flint, Michigan. For those of you who don't know Flint, Michigan, it was an auto town. My dad hung doors for 40 years on the assembly line, and I know he wanted more. He just didn't know how to build connections. He didn't know how to convert things into better opportunities. And so I had that one angel that we all have in our life. Sometimes we just don't recognize it. My grandmother pushed me. She had me listen to Les Brown every week on the radio. She had me read books, Think and Grow Rich, The Greatest Salesman in the World, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Now, when I started to apply what I'm going to share with you here, my life started to soar. I'm standing in the office of Facebook on the podcast of The Fighting Entrepreneur. And as I said, we're able to achieve great success for our clients in our coaching and consulting business. And we're able to build connections, right? When you can get people like Onyx Segal and Bob Proctor talking about you, that's what's possible for all of you. So let's make sure that all of you can do that. All right. So what do we want to do? We have to have a goal. So when it comes to building relationships and connections, you have to have a goal. It's not enough, or maybe it is, but if your goal is to just take a picture with somebody famous, someone wealthy, and it's going to transform and change your life, that's great. But I believe all of you on here want more. I know if you're part of the Million and You community and you're part of our family, I know you want more because you know you're here to do some greater good. And so you have to have a goal. So as you start to think about the relationships and partnerships that you want to form and create, as you start to think about those people that you want to meet, I want you to get a clearly defined goal about, one, who is it that you want to partner with and build a relationship with? And then two, why do you want to build that relationship? Is it because you want to help them expand their cause around the world? Is it because you have something that could help change the world? And if they were able to partner with you, you can have such greater impact. And then the other important thing that you want to remember is that your mind and thoughts, your thinking. Remember what Bob told me, you have to change your thinking, not your doing. And your mind and your thoughts must operate on the same frequency of your goal. Well, most people don't even set goals. If they do, they set very small goals. Less than 1% of the people in the world actually have goals and have them written down. So get clear on who it is you want to meet, right? And we have to change our programming. We want to move from good to great. We're all in pursuit of greatness. And how do we do that? Well, two things you need to know. You need to know where you are today. So if you don't have any relationships right now, don't have any connections, the foggiest idea of how you're going to get to somebody, and actually let me know in the chat, who is it that you would love to meet? Now, I know last time when we spoke a couple weeks ago, I had a lot of people put in Oprah Winfrey, Les Brown. So I want to share with you just how powerful this is, because we just invited you to something September 10th. You're going to be in the same room with Mr. Brown. You are literally two people removed from Les Brown. Actually, one now, because you know me, and now you have the opportunity to come join us September 10th, and you can meet Les Brown in person. That's how quickly things can happen for you. So you have to know where you are. You have to know what you have and who you have and what you want to do. And then you want to know where you're going. You have to have a goal. Now, those are the two things you need to know to live your dream life. Now, if it's this simple, why are so many people stuck? Why do we keep going to courses or going to seminars? Why do we keep signing up for events in 3 and 5 and 6 day classes and then keep getting the same results? Because it's something called a paradigm. It's something called a habitual habit that we have. A paradigm is a mental program that's in our subconscious mind. If you go research people like Dr. Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton, Greg Braden, all the neuroscientists, you'll all find that they all say the same thing. Between 96 and 98% of what we do is already pre-programmed. And that's why we don't get permanent change. What we've been able to do for our clients is to help them develop the awareness to know what is required to create permanent, everlasting change so that they can set really big goals and achieve them in record time. They can make quantum leaps in their income. They can make quantum leaps in their relationships and their partnerships. And they can make quantum leaps by impacting the world. And that's what's possible for all of you. Now, this is about networking, right? This is called connections and conversions. I know when I say that networking word, I can already feel the anxiety from some people, right? Oh God, John's going to force me to go meet people. Well, when we take a look at what networking really is, at its core, at the basic definition, it's simply interacting and connecting with other people to exchange information. It's what we're doing here today. It's what we did here 2 weeks ago. It's what we do with all our clients every week. We just come together and we exchange information, but we exchange the right kind of information. The kind of information that we know when it's applied can change your life and change everything. So networking is really just about developing contacts to further your career. All of you are here because you want more. You want more for your business. You want more for your personal life. And even if you're a nonprofit, right, doing charitable stuff, you still want more. You want to build and find those partnerships and relationships that are going to lead to more donations. So when you start to understand what networking really is, right? Nobody was born an introvert. I know that's my favorite one. A lot of people always say, John, you don't understand. I'm an introvert. I don't like to meet people. Well, that's, again, one of the paradigms, one of the programs that has been running your life. So to create permanent change, we have to understand why we've gotten the results up until now, and then understand how we can override those and create new results. Now, Kenneth Blanchard has a phenomenal quote, and it is something that goes like this. There is a difference between interest and commitment. When you're interested in something, you only do it when it's convenient. How many times have you just always found a way to do the things that you really want to do, and yet the things that you say that you're committed to, you always make excuses? Kenneth Blanchard says, when you're committed to something, you accept no excuse, only results. And this goes true for building relationships. You have to be committed. You have to be determined. And so what I want to encourage you to do is start to use and start to think differently by using these 6 higher mental faculties. These are your 6 spiritual gifts, especially your imagination. I want you to start to dream again. Who is it that you want to meet? Who do you want to partner with? Who do you want to build a relationship with and do a joint venture with? Doesn't matter. Don't worry about how it's going to happen. You don't need to worry about that for now. Decide that you're going to make out a list of the top 10 people that you want to meet, that when you do that over the next 12 months, if you can meet just one of them, it will change everything for you. And start to think from your imagination. Start to dream again about what's possible. All right? Now, we talked 2 weeks ago, and I just want to briefly review this. So how do you convert when you start to find the people? And how do you actually start to build a relationship with them? Well, I talked about something 2 weeks ago, and this has helped me create almost every single relationship that you saw on that slide, and all the other people that I could go on and on and on about how I've been able to build relationships. It's something I call little things for big connections. This is about simple little gestures that can change the world for the better, things that you can do to make an impact in somebody's life. And what I've been able to do is use this to build relationships with people like Bob Proctor, Les Brown, Onyx Singal, Sonia Riccati, Grant Cardone, Akon, owners of football clubs in England, millionaires, other billionaires, little things for big connections. So the way to get that relationship to convert to a friendship, a partnership, a joint venture, is you want to take the time to get to really know the person. What is it important? What is important to them in their life? What is the thing that really matters? That's what I did with Bob Proctor. I went to a seminar of his 6 years ago. I didn't know him, but I knew I wanted to learn from him. I wanted to be taught and mentored by the very best. And so when you're starting to think about who it is that you want to meet, who do you want to partner with? Who do you want to build a relationship with? I want you to spend the time to do some research to get to really know the person. What is important to them? And what you'll find is that these people, most of them, not all of them, are already at the top of their career. They're at the pinnacle. They've reached the top. They have the accolades, the fame, the riches. So our old paradigms would say, well, John, you don't have anything to offer Bob. What could you possibly bring to the table? Now, that's that old programming I talked about. We want to override that with what? Our higher mental faculty, our imagination. There must be a way. Remember, I told you, don't worry about how it's going to happen. You just make a decision. Decide that that's what you're going to do. I decided at that very moment that somehow, some way, I was going to have Bob Proctor mentor me personally and develop a personal friendship with someone I thought is one of the most interesting, most impactful persons in the world. And 6 years ago, that's what happened. I sat there for 2.5 days and he played one song. I think I've shared this story many times. A lot of you already know it, but that song, I looked it up on after that weekend and found out the guy was still alive. I hunted him down, got him to autograph it. And that framed album now sits in Bob's house. Bob left us February 3rd of this year, but that framed picture still sits in his house, and it touched him very deeply. What that led to, personal endorsements, friendships, partnerships, made Bob millions of dollars. And that's what's possible when you start to master the little things for those big connections. And so start to use your imagination, but you can only do that when you research the person, start to get to know everything about them, what's really important to them. All right, I'm going to stop sharing my slides for a minute. I'm going to just come back here and talk to you guys. And so that is That is the main key thing, is that you really want to master the little things for big connections. Now, what are some other, I call them, they're not even secrets. So what are three other things that you can do? Well, the first one I just shared with you is master the little things for big connections. But the first thing, the most important thing when it comes to converting people into partnerships, into business, is your thinking. It is a mindset. That is the most important thing. You know, we have an acronym that we like to teach. We call it MAP. Well, what is a MAP? It's a guide, right? I like to say what we do is we guide people. We guide them from covering and bridging the gap of where they are to where they want to be. We show them how to get there. And so the M is for mindset. That's where it all starts. Everything starts with that. 95% of success is in the mindset, 5% is in strategy. I found myself focusing for years on the strategy part. How's it going to happen? What am I going to do? Rather than on the what am I going to think? So in order to change our relationships, to create a new circle of people, we have to change our thinking. We have to change our thinking, not our doing. Change your thinking, you change your results. Now, what do we change our thinking to? Well, when I ask you to come up with a list of 10 people, a lot of you will come up with big celebrity names or wealthy people, right? Elon Musk and all this. But do you really truly believe that you can meet that person? Do you believe that you can actually have some kind of business relationship with them? 99% of the time, it's a no. We say these things, right? I ask a lot of our clients, what is it, your income goal? They say, oh, I'd love to earn $1 million. And then there's always that nervous laugh after. Why is that? It's because they don't believe it. They don't believe it to be true. So we want to get to the state of mind of belief, not simply merely wishing and hoping, as Napoleon Hill says. The state of mind must be belief. You have to believe it. You have to believe that when you write down that I want to meet this person because I have some kind of business proposal or something that we can do together that I know it's going to impact and change the world, that you know it's going to happen. Remember, your mind is a magnet. Now, the challenge for us has come in the fact that we have to change our mind. Well, guess what? We think in images, we think in pictures. So when I used to share with people, you need to change your mind, I'd get a look of confusion. Why? Because we never had an image of the mind. Well, thankfully, there's a wonderful drawing called The Stick Person, right? And Dr. Thurman Fleet created this stick person idea to really make a very simple diagram of the mind. Now, you have your conscious mind, which is your educated mind, your thinking mind. And that is where we have our free will, right? We think we're in charge on a daily basis. But what did I say earlier? 96 to 98% of what we do on a daily basis is already programmed. You can call it in. It's already there. So the other half of the mind is the subconscious mind. That's the emotional mind. It has no ability to differentiate between something that's right or wrong. So if you can actually start to establish the right vibration and the right feeling that you can form any relationship and any partnership with anybody, and you start to now move from the belief of the wish fulfilled, as Neville Goddard talks about, you start to move with a certain calmness and confidence and a clarity. And guess what happens? Everything you're seeking is seeking you. And as you change your vibration, everything vibrates. Everything has a frequency. Remember that slide I shared of the radio? We're tuning and turning your frequency to those right relationships, those right partnerships. And just like the radio station, when you don't like the music, you change the channel. Well, that music doesn't automatically suddenly find you as you're driving down the street. No, it's already there. So is success. So are the relationships that you want in your life. So we have to move to that right frequency. Now, how do you do that? Well, it starts with attitude. Attitude is everything, right? You've heard that before. How do you develop a great attitude? Well, first of all, what is attitude? Attitude is a composite of your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Now, one way to cultivate a great, amazing attitude is to have gratitude. We have all our clients write down 10 things that they're grateful for each and every morning. We make sure that we are operating with a goal that ignites that burning desire inside of us, that we have passion and enthusiasm each day, and that, as I said earlier, we're moving calmly through the day. Excuse me, knowing that it's already done. We just now take certain steps to fill in the blanks. Remember, you don't see with your eyes, you see with your mind. Your eyes deceive you. And so the believing part is the seeing part. Now, desire, you have to have the burning desire. So when you make this list and when you start to think about the partnerships and relationships that you want to create and form, you want to have that burning desire with the expectation I know people say, oh, you shouldn't have expectations. I don't agree with that. You want to have that burning desire with the expectation of it, the wish fulfilled, that it's already done. So I think that's a little bit different. You want to expect that it's going to be done. So if I want to meet, let's say Tom Brady, for example, because I want to partner with him and do something with him, then I have a burning desire that I know that this is going to happen, and I move with an expectation that it's already done. Now then what happens? On a daily basis, we want to be taking massive daily action. You never want to desire a thing you do not want, and never want a thing you don't expect. Okay? So again, everything you're seeking is seeking you. Awareness is everything to understand how things really work. The second letter of our map is action. Massive daily action. We encourage everyone to create a daily success ritual, something that works for them. Something that starts out with a prayer or meditation, doesn't matter what time of the day or when, but they need to have a routine. Prayer, meditation, gratitude. And then we have all of our clients create a life script. We're going to talk in much greater detail about everything we're talking here today. Actually, next week, we're doing a 3-day event called Networking Secrets. We're going to go into much greater detail on all this stuff. Tonight, I just want to share with you for about 20 or 30 minutes. But next week, doing a free workshop. Fernanda, if you'll put that link in the chat, we'd love to have you join us, called Networking Secrets. We also take a look at our productive and non-productive activities. If you want to meet this person, if you want to develop this partnership and relationship, what are you doing on a daily basis to make that happen? And then review your day. Rethink, did what I do today really get me any closer to the person that I want to meet, to the partnership I want to create, to the relationship that I want to develop? And then rework your day the next day, right? Eliminate the non-productive activities and ask yourself, how am I enriching? How am I serving the lives of other people? Which brings us to the P, people. Are you giving value to people? Are you giving them value without expecting anything in return? Now, there are a right way and a wrong way to give. Giving always precedes and predetermines what you receive. Giving. Now, the right way to give is unselfishly, without any attachment to the result. The wrong way is through manipulation. Now, people spend money, and they will partner, and they will develop friendships and relationships with people they know, like, and trust. And you gain the trust of people by consistently engaging them, sharing with them, offering, bringing value to them, doing the little things for those big connections. Remember that at the end of the day, business people, wealthy people, celebrities, all of them, they're just people. And they want to feel important and acknowledged too, but they want to feel important and acknowledged for the right reasons, right? So no matter what their title is or how successful they are, they still want to feel acknowledged. So make it a point to build relationships that last instead of looking for that quick fix, right? That quick little hit. Oh, if you just partner with me, we're going to have all this money. We're going to, it'll be great for both of us. Meaningful conversation and mutually beneficial exchanges. So if you follow the map, you work on your mindset, you take massive action, and then you work on people, work on valuing those relationships that you have and those relationships that you want to cultivate, you will start to convert those relationships into business opportunities. Now, the other thing you want to do, and let me just add a few more comments before we stop today. Let me see. Anyone have any questions in the chat? All right. Esther, very great to see you as well. I see a lot of our past and current clients on here. Great to see you guys. Now, the other thing is, when, not if, but when opportunity presents itself to meet this person or these people, when the opportunity presents itself, you want to be prepared. You want to have a very clear and concise message about what is it that you do, who you are, the outcome that you're going to create, and who do you serve. And so your network really does determine your net worth, right? It's not just about who you know, but it's also about who knows you and what do they know about you. So is your branding, is your messaging very clear? Are you operating your life in the pursuit of building relationships and partnerships like a business and being very professional? It's these little things that make a huge difference, right? Are you using a proper business email? Do you have a website, even if it's a basic one, that somebody could go to? So make sure you're investing the time and the money to present yourself in the most professional light when the opportunity comes, because it will come. Demonstrate that you're serious about this, and that will get you so much further. And as you develop that powerful and clear message, you'll be able to start to form and build great partnerships and relationships. Now, again, back to building relationships. You want to build relationships? I'm offering you an opportunity to not only just meet me in person, but also the greatest motivator of our time, Mr. Les Brown, in Atlanta, September 10th. So I know we are getting a lot of comments. People are going to come down there. Aaron says he can't access the link. Fernanda, if you will check that, Aaron, let Fernanda know which link you can't get. Yes, I see someone's already coming. So that is September 10th in person. You can get the link for that in the chat. Fernanda, if you'll put the link in there, please. And again, this was just kind of a second of a two-part series. I just wanted to come on here and share with you how to really not only build connections, but then convert those into lifelong, lasting partnerships, relationships, and mutually beneficial transactions that are going to impact and change your life, the person that you're actually partnering with, and actually the world. For next week's event. All right, Fernanda, if you could just put the link for that in the chat, and Aaron will make sure that it's also posted inside the Million and You Facebook group. Let me see. You're very welcome, you guys. So again, a reminder, next week we're going to go deep for 3 days on networking secrets, really dive into kind of on a very in-depth level about what I shared here tonight and also 2 weeks ago. I want to thank you all for your time. I appreciate it very much. And we look forward to seeing you starting next Wednesday on our Networking Secrets event. And I hope to see all of you in Atlanta in person live on September. Let me just see you guys. Yeah, the link is not working. Let me just see if I can. Let me see if let me just text the team real quick. All right. While she does that, again, a reminder, some homework for you before the event next week. I want you to start to think of that list of 10 people that you want to build a relationship with, that you want to connect with. I'm excited to meet you guys too. And let's set an intention for next week that we're going to actually leave that after those 3 days with an actual roadmap, a blueprint of how to achieve and accomplish that. All right. And so I'm just checking with the team right now. James, you're very welcome. I will talk to you guys. And again, thank you for your time. We'll see you all next week. All right. And have a great rest of your evening. Thank you.